আপনারা দেখছেন ILFL সকার নাইট। সৌজন্যে নীলাজ হোম লিমিটেড, প্রবাসে মায়ের হাতের ছোঁয়া।
Here we go. Welcome back and welcome to the third part of our party political broadcast, which is called the Inner London Football League Soccer Night Show. And this time round, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the Stepney team. Like I said, we know all about their history, but we're going to talk a little bit about what they're doing right now. How are they competing? Who are the main men within their teams? And for that, I'm going to turn to our modern day stats man, Hasnat, who always likes to come up with these little gems for us to talk about. So Hasnat, discuss.
Well, today, time on the stats and the gameplay. I think if we can show up on the screen,
Let's have a look on the screen what we've got here. We've got some stats on the
what I've really done is just gone through all your goals. So you guys have, this is the Premier Division to start with. So you guys have scored 22 goals, and it all seems to be coming from one place. So who's that? We've got nicknamed down as Messi. So yeah, all the goals coming there. One thing I've noticed though, he doesn't get all the man of the matches, right? And it's been quite dispersed, which tells me that you've got talent all over the pitch. So, I mean, you guys can see that list up there. I mean, tell everyone about your team and why the goals are coming from one place, yet he's not getting the man of the match.
Come on, Nikki. Explain. Musi's on top. Good goal scorer for you?
Yeah, definitely. He's very
season after season?
Yeah, he's really good.
Is he getting better?
Yes and no. I mean, he needs to up his game. He needs to up his game. He can do much better. I've seen him at his peak, and he'll take the ball and he'll go for anyone and everyone. But again, you need the backing of the back, people who are backing him behind him. But yeah, the reason why he's not getting man of the match, I think, is just his temper or something. But he's a goal scorer.
That's not a great thing. He's a goal scorer. Sometimes you just have to be a bit of a lone wolf on the pitch, and you have to have something. And it's a little bit of an attitude and arrogance about yourself to do that. So
that's what we love about him. He's just that person. He'll never change. He'll go out on the pitch. He'll give it all that and intimidate the defence. And next thing you know, he's scored a goal. He does it week in, week out, and you just have to watch out for him.
So who's your Fabregas?
Fabregas.
Yeah, who's your Fabregas? Who's the man that's giving him the ammunition to score the goals?
Bobby. Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby. Yeah, he's your Zidane at the same time with his haircut. Yeah, he's a talented boy. First time I saw him was last year in the final, and then I saw him in the final at Mile End. What was that? It was a BYM game. And he scored this cracking goal. Did the Rabona? Scored a Rabona accidentally as well. It was great. Yeah, he's quality. He's got a great eye for a pass.
So stop him, draw up the supply to the man up front.
But also Bolly, he's been really good. He's been fantastic. And I saw another player, Yassin, who I haven't seen, who we've introduced recently. This guy, you've got to watch out for him as well. Midfield, he'll tear anyone and everyone, and I've seen him do it to London Tigers a couple of times, and he's the player to watch, for this season, I'll say. So I'm not sure if he's a goal scorer, but he knows when to get the ball, go for the ball, and pass the ball around.
With those stats, I always have a hidden question, gents. And so my question here is now, you have a player in that team that's been there for 1.5 decades, an unsung legend. Tell me a bit about Tox. Why isn't he anywhere near there?
You talk about Tox.
Really a story.
Tox, I love him. When I first met him, I didn't get on with him. I think I said something bad, and he took it the wrong way as a joke. And but then we went to Lisbon together, all of us as a football team, and yeah, we've been solid since. Tox's football, I don't know, to be honest with you. He's an old-fashioned sort of winger, drives forward, passes it when he needs to pass it, rarely makes a lot of mistakes. And I think because sometimes the games change, right? The game has changed, it's evolved. The old-fashioned sort of wingers died down a little bit. You look at a different type of winger who can cut in, do a little bit extra, you know, rather than just head down, run, hit the grass, put the corner in. But I tell you what, Tox is probably still one of the best at it, you know, hitting that grass. But yeah, no, I mean, it's all about a team really. Whether he's in there or not, I'm sure he's doing something good for the team.
Well, if you look at the team, everyone else has changed. He's still got that position.
Absolutely.
So he just goes to show that he's still on top of the list, and no one has come and took it from him. No one's come and took it from him.
Because he's only, what, 3 or 4 years away from being a legend now.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's not many years, but he's one of the surviving members of that team. Yeah. I'm gonna move over to your B team. Now, I don't know too much about it, but if we look at the screen now, so your goals are now not so spread out. There's a handful of people that are scoring the goals there. But, Ruku, probably I'm going to ask you the question there. Being the man at the back that sees all the 10 players in front of you, how do you keep them intact?
Are you suggesting I'm a keeper?
When you are.
How do I keep... to be honest with you, I only went in goal for one game and had a mare as well, so I'm planning not to go in again. And I found I was struggling in the goalkeeper side, so... but anyway, got that fixed. How do I keep them together? I think they're all listening now. It's hard when you don't have training, and we can go into that discussion again later if you want. But I think they're all starting to listen. I think they're all starting to get an idea. You know, when you're someone new, you come into a club as big as Stepney, and so many little egos. You got to beat those egos down first, and then essentially get to the bare brunt of it. We're here to play football. You know, hear me out, and when you do it, it will work. You know, and that's what it is, and you'll see those stats will get better and better. You know, had a hard, tough games at the beginning, but it's going to get better.
I've got 2 or 3 questions for you.
What you've done very well is try to protect your players right now, and Hasna asked a question which you kind of diverted and dodged. But let's talk about them now. You've got players in that team now. We've spoken about the fact that you've got 1 or 2 of the senior players, but let's talk about the players that are not the senior players. We can talk about the players who've been there for Stepney for 10, 15 or odd years, whatever.
Yep.
But now, who are the players there that we could be talking about in 10, 15 years' time?
Quite a few, actually, if I'm being honest. Well, all right, I'll start.
Name them. They're watching this show. They want to talk about them live.
You've got my right back, Jahid, and Kai, who are fighting for the right back spot. I've got a 28-man squad, so they're all individually fighting for it. You've got, at the back, you've got Akhtar, Russell, Nabil, who are Stepney through and through, literally. You've got Shadu back in there. Harry, he'll be easily the best left back in the league. I put a bet down. He'll be the best left back in the league. He's only 17, so composed.
What about in the injury room, in the middle of the pitch?
In the middle of the pitch, I've got my... I like to call my pit bull.
A Gattuso.
Yeah, my Gattuso, my Flamini, or other people might not like Flamini. I like him, but he's an engine, absolute engine. His name's Akash Rahman. I would hate playing against him because he can't play football. He does everything for everyone else,
yeah.
And because he's 16, he's still ball chasing at the moment. But as soon as his game picks up, his experience picks up, he'll be an absolute nightmare for every single midfielder out there. He's what I look forward to watching every week because he's learning, he's picking it up so quickly. Then I've got Lee Thompson, my left winger, probably my best player in the team, barring Tariq, he probably wants to mention. And I've got Frank Hubbard up front, my little Peter Crouch. Yep. Absolutely awkward.
Is there such a thing as a little Peter Crouch?
Oh, he's my little Peter Crouch, yeah, because he's going to get taller up front. He's 6'2", 6'3", 4", 16 years old, 17 years old, and so awkward. He's got no pace, no strength, but he's so awkward to play against. And defenders could actually hate something, and he'll only get better because obviously he's learning the game. He's come from the under-16s. He's learning the game. He'll just get better. And all of them, my captain, Mamun, who's a centre midfielder by trade, but we're all trying to get him to play on the right wing because he's got pace to burn, he's got quality. There's a lot of quality there, and you don't notice it. I didn't notice it at the beginning, but once you start seeing them play, start getting a connection together, there's something there that could be potentially very good.
Here's my second question out of the three then. They're all looking to achieve, they're all looking to get better, they've all got aspirations. Are those aspirations in the A side? And a question that maybe you can then slide over to Akik is, we've got the Champions Cup to come. And against the Champions Cup, we're talking about not only just playing the best in the league, you're playing against the best teams from other leagues. Is that when maybe Stepney might look to maybe advance one or two of these B team players and say, hey, go and have a go there, and let's see how good you really are?
I think eventually, yes. I wouldn't say now, personally. So a few of them still got a lot of learning to do, a lot of growing up, a lot of things. I think watching the A team is just as important as playing in.
How hard will it be to keep that team together for next season?
For me, if you're going against me, easy, but because I'll keep that team together. I think with any team, before you start changing things around, you need a good solid 2 years before they start moving. And plus, I've got to still wait for under 16s to come in, evolve. So, yeah, I mean, they will move up. And if they don't have aspirations to play for the A team, then they shouldn't really be playing football. Personally, I'd sit on the bench for an A team because I always want to be known as an A team player. So they will. Eventually, they will. Some of them might not make the grade, but that doesn't mean anything. They shouldn't be disheartened by that because they're still playing football regularly.
Here's a final question for you. You've spoken very publicly about the lack of training facilities and the lack of training that both teams are having. Could that have a detrimental effect on your teams this season?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And I said this to you off air a little bit, that how close we was against the team of Reach Out and SCTA. And we lost that SCTA game because some of my players wasn't concentrating on a set piece. Now, there's only one place I can teach those boys at, right, and that's in training. You know, and if they knew concentrate beginning straight away, I mean, there's so many little mistakes that's happened that training will just kick out of them. You know, and I can't, you know, I can't say it as loud as I can say it. We need a training pitch. I need a training pitch. These kids are going to be so good, and these are Tower Hamlets kids. You know, these are our community kids. If you don't want to see them grow, don't give us a training pitch. But if you want to see them flourish and become men as well, because these kids I say kids all the time, but we're in a men's league, and these guys need to step up and become men. And at football, you'd be surprised how, you know, if you do well in football, everything works. I'm at work, when I can't explain something, I use a football analogy, you know. And these kids need to step up, and without the training pitch, I can't do that for them.
Well, listen, gents, it's been great. It's been great hearing all about you and hearing about Stepney from a different side of the fence. So thanks very much for coming in. I hope it all goes well for you. I hope we've not exposed too many of your secrets now. And you continue with your success with the B side and obviously with the A team, that they continue to do what they've got to do. Guys, it's been a good discussion this evening. Again, what have we learned from it, Has?
Well, we've learned a lot more about Stepney, haven't we? But to be honest, it's things that we already knew anyway, and I think it's good for us to showcase that. I think for the other teams to actually see that it's not impossible to achieve this sort of structure, and actually to get the belief and to get the enthusiasm into the youngsters. And I mean, we probably didn't have a chance to look at the second division much because Stepney are in the first two, but even the teams that we've got in our second division now, we've got, I mean, one of their local teams, Redcoat, again, up and coming. They're also very reliant on this pitch coming across for training. So, you know, I hope this continues. I mean, it's certainly looking like a good future for us, Tower Hamlets. And, I mean, thank you to Stepney as well for being the most colourful team to us.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's been great. And as always, thank you for watching the show, because without you, it wouldn't be here. So my thanks to you. as always, as well as the guests that we've had on the show. We've run out of time. It is the end of another Soccer Night show. My thanks to the guys behind the screen that you cannot see who put this together for you. My thanks to NTV for always allowing us to be here and talk football with you, the growing community, the growing football community that watch the ILFL Soccer Night show. Stay tuned next week when we're going to have the League Cup draw, the League Cup sponsored by Tower Hamlets Homes. I should also say thank you to Sawa & Co, who sponsor the Premier Division, the division that we've spoken so much about this evening. We're out of time. My name's David Joseph. I'm going to go home now because it's too cold to be here, and we'll see you again next Monday night on the ILFL Soccer Night show. Until then, it's good night from me, them, good night.